2, 1. Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching a special episode of Teddybears and Tentacles podcast. This is the Thanksgiving episode, and today with me I have Skinny Rick.
Yep, as always.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Cool. And we also have a returning guest, our only guest, Dylan Puckett.
What's going on, everybody?
Yep. We're here,
Whose
and
camera
we're doing it.
is considerably close to his face.
Yes. This is the closest a camera's ever been to anybody.
Like,
actually.
So imagine you were sitting in front of a camera.
I can't reach that, but he could definitely reach it.
Oh, for sure. Imagine that you were sitting in front of a camera, and then it's real. It's real close.
Imagine if it was a person, you'd be uncomfortable during the conversation.
Yeah. This is how close I think that you remember the camera that they had in the Survivor thing whenever they would do the voting?
Oh, yeah.
And it'd be like up in their face while they were writing the thing down. It would be like so close that like there's no way you could ever see what they were actually writing.
Yeah, if you ate something nasty today and you were as close to me as this camera was, I'm going to tell you, get out of my face with that hot breath.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. So we got a closed camera. Dylan's rocking a new mic arm that we're trying out for the first time. So
Trying it out.
Try it out.
If this thing goes, if we like it, we're gonna switch to those. And yeah, so a little bit different stuff today. We're gonna cover a little bit of the stuff that we normally do. We got some Epstein stuff going on. And then we want to talk a little bit about this beautiful holiday that we all have learned to love and
dislike in recent years.
Yeah. So let's do it, man. Well, first, how's y'all's week been going? Skinny Rick?
It's good.
Wearing the Life Rhapsody today.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
gotta represent the cult, bro.
Cult. The babies.
Gotta spread the good news. Yeah, I mean, technically it hasn't happened yet, but like hypothetically, if you was watching this in the future, it would have happened.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do a table read, not in it, but possibly attend for that show that I was very vaguely mentioning last episode.
Oh, sweet.
We'll see. I could be lying to you because hypothetically it may never happen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We'll see. That's
cool, what happens when you a time traveling podcaster.
Yeah. And that we are. Dylan, how's your week been?
Not bad, man. It's I've recently come into some free time working at a local coffee shop. Or the church's coffee shop. We basically all the students are gone, so things are slowing down. So my schedule is slowed down. So I mean, I've just got a bunch of free time.
I will say,
so it's been kind of nice.
That's it's weird to me because I work at the same place, but I really don't ever get to work at the same time as anyone except Kenneth and Ethan. I've never worked with Reagan once ever the whole time.
Does Dustin still work there or no?
No, he's at.
That's why Ethan got hired because Dustin resigned.
Yeah. He got a job elsewhere.
He's still brewing.
During one of the breaks. Yeah. He's at Southbound.
He's still brewing. He's just brewing a much stronger potion.
Yeah, different kind of potion.
Different kind of potion.
Sell.
Yeah.
I think with a mustache like his, that place probably
suits him better.
Works out better anyway.
I think probably with whatever it is I have, I think I do better doing waffles than potions. Just pick an attribute.
You're better at
just pick anything that I'm doing right now. That's the waffle.
Well, with that mullet, you're definitely cooking something.
Yeah. But not quite. Like the only thing I can't cook is no matter whatever The Rock is currently cooking at that time, I cannot also be cooking. Is the rule.
Well, you don't have to cook what The Rock's cooking. You just have to be able to smell what The Rock's cooking.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is because I can't cook whatever he's cooking because then it's too strong of a smell.
But if you're cooking it doesn't matter. That's the difference because you're smelling what The Rock's got cooking.
Yeah.
Not cooking the same thing. I mean, if he's cooking burgers, it's just what he's cooking.
I know, but if he's cooking burgers, I can't also cook burgers.
Okay. Well, then don't cook burgers.
I'm not cooking burgers, dude.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Because it would be too much burger, dude. Because I'm already smelling what he's cooking.
At all
But
times.
then I'll also be smelling what I'm cooking. It's not for anyone else's sake except mine.
Yeah.
Can you imagine smelling 2 burgers? It's too many. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, now that we got that out of the way, we'll start talking about some stuff that's making some sense today.
You jabroni.
So we got some Epstein stuff to talk about. So since the last podcast, we had a couple things happen. The most relevant thing being that Prince Andrew, after this really kind of bizarre interview that he agreed to do, has decided to step down from his duties in the royal family.
You want this one or a different one?
Let's watch the interview, dude. Can we watch that?
With New York. Wait, no. Which one? Or is it not on here? I can't read.
Go up to videos.
So what were his duties? I mean, what did he give up anyway?
Being royal.
Well, I mean, back in the day, he was an arms dealer. So
Oh,
I'm not quite sure what his duty.
Because in my mind, arms dealer is always just some guy in a third world country who has multiple crates of Russian weapons.
Yeah, not a prince.
Yeah.
not Queen Elizabeth, and he's the 8th in line for the throne.
In the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, in the Game of Thrones. Let's see if we can find this interview.
Is it not any of
just
these?
do Prince Andrew interview. I don't think there's a
So he's no longer an arms dealer, is what we're saying. At least no longer an arms dealer.
We'll have to look at it in a sec. We'll figure out what he's doing.
They got that full interview up there.
It's a 50-minute interview, dude. See if we can find the highlights. Let's see.
That BBC one could probably be all right.
Yeah, go ahead and do the BBC one, Isaac.
That 2 days ago, very top thing.
Wait. Oh, I see it. Sorry, I was looking at this and they all said YouTube.
Let's see.
Look with your eyes.
We're good to have the audio. I just want to make sure that we're watching.
What the
it.
heck? Dude,
So this is
do
not playing
not-
through our system
What?
because
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Jeez. All right, so you want the audio?
We'll
or
scrub through it first and make sure that we can see some of the interview. Yeah.
this
Okay.
is- I mean,
yeah. Go to the beginning of where that starts.
well, we're already there.
All right, that's fine.
So
Now let's do an audio.
In 2006. He was released in July. Within months, by December of 2010, you went to stay with him at his New York mansion.
We've talked about this stuff
Why?
before.
Why were you staying with a convicted sex offender?
Right. Now, I went there with the sole purpose of saying to him that because he had been convicted, it was inappropriate for us to be seen together.
he was there for a month, dude.
We can't watch
you
these
could-
people's stuff.
You could send him an email or something.
All right, look,
Yeah.
hey, guys.
That's exactly what
You
I
could
thought,
do
dude.
you
All right.
could do something else
All right.
than
Yeah.
going to his house to
They-
tell.
No,
you don't
all
have
right.
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a prince, so maybe he's a little old fashioned. But you could at least have. You
Look,
could give him a phone
let's-
call, shoot him a text, or something.
Let's pause for a minute. Was he not wearing a bathrobe in that video of him being at the house?
I don't know. Yeah,
don't
he
just
was wearing
don't
something, dude.
do a bathrobe if you're in a house.
Don't do a
with
creepy,
a sex
dude.
offender.
That one video. If you go back to one
Dude,
of our,
you won't-
I think what was the episode?
What?
What was the name of the episode
I
that we
don't
did?
I don't remember.
It was titled
I-
Prince Andrew and the something. We go over this video of him of what that was taken while
Yeah.
he was there, and it's pretty creepy.
I can tell you right now, you won't catch me wearing any robes except like a Hogwarts student, like house robe. That's it.
Yeah.
Or maybe a Jedi robe, I guess, too. But that's it. Never a bathrobe, especially not when there's a registered. Well, he's not registered at that point.
He
I
had
guess.
just gotten out of prison.
Never around a sex offender. because bathrobes. There's two people that can wear bathrobes.
Yeah, this guy was making some.
Sorry, 3 people that
some
can wear
poor
bathrobes.
decisions.
Old dudes, like boomer age dudes, like young women,
Yeah.
and sex offenders.
What about little kids though? Little kids sometimes can pull off.
Yeah, but they always wear them over stuff. Like you
Yeah.
got yourself some like Pokemon pajama pants and a t-shirt, and then a
and a SpongeBob bathrobe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude, don't. I could be wrong. He might not have been wearing a bathrobe, but in my mind, he was wearing a bathrobe the whole time.
So here's the thing, though. Why did it take him becoming officially a sex offender, which I'm sure he already knew?
Yeah.
Oh, he knew.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why does it take that for you to be like, hey, bro,
Yeah.
I think we probably shouldn't be seen together anymore.
Dude.
It's like you probably shouldn't have been seen together at all.
I don't want to be too rude, but also he's either dead or hiding, so I don't really.
Yeah.
There's
Well.
not much for me to care in that situation, but Epstein looks creepy, dude.
Yeah. The royal family's full of this stuff,
He
man.
just looks spooky.
So the royal family. Have I ever told you about in the 70s or the late 60s these 10 kids from an Indian like private school in Canada left with the queen and they
yeah.
all disappeared,
Dude,
and
yeah,
she was found guilty.
Didn't she
It's
kill
pretty
them or
crazy.
something, or
Nah, I
they
mean
just
nobody
disappeared?
knows.
No.
Yeah,
No,
nobody
I
knows.
heard one theory that she was taking them out there to like hunt them, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Oh my god.
Yeah, I heard that too.
like in the Clone Wars
Oh.
when they captured
Oh,
the
yeah.
Padawans, and
Mhm.
yeah, basically that.
But with
little kids. Yeah.
Well, here's my question.
None of it's too.
Here's my
surprising.
question: why do that through a school? Like, you're just asking to get caught. Because if you already do it illegally, if you just get some kids from wherever through the black market, that's different.
Maybe that's today, dude, but like back then you got to think in the 60s, like the queen's coming to Canada, she wants to come to our school and she wants to take some of our students out on a picnic.
There's no way that anyone thought she was just going to let the kids disappear. Like, there's no way.
no way.
Yeah.
I mean,
no
you-
one thought that.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I mean, if you, like you said, I mean, you got to go. You're going far enough back. It's like we don't have access to. I mean, she might have had access to who knows what, but there's no way that.
That they saw that.
Oh,
coming. Yeah.
never. It's. I mean, and what did she like? What did she
well,
say?
she was found guilty.
I don't know, but
And
like, what did
nothing-
she say? Like, I don't know what happened. Like,
She
I don't
probably
know.
didn't say anything, to be honest.
I was old and
Yeah.
fell asleep, and when I woke up, they were all gone. Like, you know.
Yeah. It was so
That's
the
terrible.
reason it even came out to begin with was there was a guy who was just digging through some old bench warrants from back then and ended up finding one for her.
Oh no way.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I mean, there's some stuff that surrounds that family that's just it's very bizarre. We've talked about before about just some of the rules that the way that London works with the royal family and all this. Like apparently they have to get approval from somebody before they can even go into the city.
'cause
It's just
London
weird.
is so European.
It's
bro.
weird. They got golden toilets and all kind of stuff.
Look, you can now. You can say it's a bad thing or not a bad thing. I'm not hating on Europe. I'm just saying it's super European.
What, gold toilets?
Well, yes, but
Because that
also,
would be a bomb.
But also, the rule that the person in charge can't show up without someone else's approval.
I mean,
Yeah.
is she really in charge?
No,
though?
she's. I mean, honestly, she's really just like a.
they're just figureheads. It's
Mascot.
pretty much
Yeah, it's
at this point.
just pretty wild though, because I mean, you have to think the impact that something like being the royal family has on whether it be for them be Parliament or whatever.
I mean, could you?
I mean, like
could
you gotta. It's crazy to think about how far their reach actually goes in the world, even
yeah.
though they're not technically.
Yeah, well,
anything.
they still own all of these different little
Well, their
colony
reach goes
places
all the way out to
all
this
over the place,
island.
and they just collect taxes on it. And that's pretty much it.
Colonies.
Yeah, we just read earlier today that wasn't until like '97 that Hong Kong was given back to like China from
Oh
them.
no way.
Yeah.
Dude, they have
Like they have all
everything.
these little places all over the
Everything.
place
Dude, they
that
have
like
Hong Kong.
like
bro.
all
Dude.
they have to do is collect a little bit of
They're all
a little
up,
bit
dude.
of taxes.
The
I think.
reason that so when we go to Kenya, right? They drink chai tea like it's their job. Like it's everywhere. When you're driving down the road, like in Georgia, you see a lot of cotton, you see some corn. That's really it. But in Kenya, you see just tea growing out in the fields,
Mhm.
and it's 'cause they were colonized,
Yeah.
and that's what they did. Like that's what the job was, because it was the perfect climate for it. So they just manufactured a bunch of tea. So like that stuff affects culture.
Yeah.
Like they drink it like we drink coffee. You
Yeah.
go somewhere, if you're going to get especially if you're doing a breakfast, dude, you're doing a tea for sure. If you're doing a stop for a little pastry or a snack, they don't really do pastries, but if you're doing a snack, it's going to do some tea. If you got a meal, there's definitely like a thermos full of tea at the table.
Yeah, that's
What
strange.
it is. But they do theirs different. They brew it in milk, not
Yeah.
in water.
Yeah.
Which is good. I like it. Most people who go with us, people either
like,
love it or dislike
I mean,
it.
like a chai or something like wouldn't be too bad.
Well,
like
no,
that, I
yeah,
don't
chai.
think, but because that's basically what
it.
we do.
It's just chai.
Already. I mean, if you buy like a chai from somewhere, I mean that's basically what's happening. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's so crazy that they still had like their hands in Hong Kong and things like that. It's absolutely crazy that again how far
There's a
the
lot of
reach
places.
goes.
There's a lot of places that like the Philippines is technically a U.S. territory, same as Puerto Rico, and like most people, like would never consider that U.S. territory. I mean, whenever we went to Hawaii, like if it wasn't considered a state, you couldn't call that.
Oh, dude,
a part
no!
of the
It's
US.
the first time that I've ever been. You and I were actually talking about it when we were there. It's like I get that I'm
Left
in
the
the United
mainland.
States. Yeah,
I will
like
say
it's like I know that like
it could,
this isn't supposed to be
Yeah.
a part of the United States. It is.
it could just be that it contrasts differently compared to like the places that I've been. I didn't get that same feeling of like this doesn't feel like I wouldn't have known this was the U.S. It felt like the U.S. to me. Like that's what
Yeah.
it
I mean, well, you've been a number of places around the world. What I'm getting at is mostly like if you look at things that you can encounter in the U.S.
Yeah.
as far as traveling, because I mean, like our interactions, it's not as if there's like a huge culture shift necessarily, but being there, looking at
sure.
like the vibe and the actual
like the environment.
yeah,
and
the
stuff.
landscape and all that. It's like being there. It's like, man, like this should not, like this is,
Yeah, I mean,
this really is just like an island in the middle of the ocean that we acquired.
Yeah,
like it
sure.
should not.
and you've been to some of the extremes as well, and I think that's what gives you a bit different of a perspective on it. But there's nowhere in the continental U.S. where you can go. Everybody in this whole place doesn't have air conditioning, is used to it, and also not complaining about it.
Yeah.
Like there's nowhere
Sure.
else. There's nowhere here that
I'll tell you what they do have that some places don't have:
what
clean water.
they do. They do have the best sushi ever too.
They're doing way better than Flint, Michigan.
Genki sushi, bro.
So good. I will say they were right, dude. If you're gonna do a homeless, you better be doing it in Hawaii.
Dude,
Yeah, they apparently there's a
Now-
thing where they're sending
But also
homeless folks to Hawaii from the continental.
there's a
United States.
lot of meth.
In Hawaii?
You don't remember them talking about it?
Are you sure you're not talking about like Salt Lake City or something?
I'm just saying, like, a lot of the homeless population down there was.
Bessemer, Alabama.
Yeah. That's getting a little too real there.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I think that. Oh, yeah. So I was watching a thing not that long ago about homeless people in Hawaii and stuff like that. Remember me telling you about that cult, the documentary that I watched? I may have been telling somebody else about it. I'll have to tell you about it later. But this guy moved basically from the U.S. to Hawaii, and now is like his cult members are like mostly
yeah.
homeless people.
No, wait. Is it the guy, the celebrity dude? Who was that
No,
celebrity?
no.
That's
You're
got
talking
that
about
cult?
Crystalia.
Yeah,
No,
right. No,
no,
it's
no,
the
no.
it's another. This one is like a. They're doing white gowns and stuff.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, walking around in public.
Yeah.
Looking like some nightmare.
Yeah, he's dressed
fuel.
up like a Jesus.
Yeah.
Walking around.
That's my thing is like, dude, if you're gonna do a cult, like, just do an original.
Yeah.
Just get out there, make up an outfit.
We need to.
No, we're not cosplaying, bro. Do an original.
Dude, the Free Little Birds is in North
cool.
Carolina this
Oh,
weekend.
are they really?
Yeah.
Really?
We might need to go hit them
Yeah.
up.
That'd be tight.
I'll
dude.
go up
I
and I'll be like,
remember-
I'm the guy who tried to say hi but was socially awkward.
Yeah.
'Cause I walked up, I was like, I don't have any cash.
No,
but
dude. But
I'm
you,
the guy who
guys-
you didn't have any.
breakdanced.
Yeah, you didn't have any cash, but you danced with those street
Yeah.
dancers, bro.
Oh,
Yes, I did, and
Yeah.
it sucked.
Yeah.
Dude, I knew as soon as I got out there, I was like, I said I'm gonna do it. Then I realized I can't dance.
Dude, okay, so
At least not
we're
like
gonna
that.
put this
They
up
were-
on the screen.
They were doing a break dance. I can do a fake dance.
We're gonna put this up on the screen for sure, and I'm just gonna play it by
So
itself. the
it started
dancing.
off. It started off with me being like, I'm just gonna move my legs and arms in different directions confidently. But then I was like, wait, I can only do that for so long.
Did you try to hit the worm?
That was the worst worm I've ever hit, which made me. It embarrassed me because I can hit the worm, bro. I know how to do
was
it.
funny, dude.
I've done it before. Like that's what whenever someone's trying to make me do a dance and I'm just gonna do it, that's what I'm doing. I think I did it once in my Halo outfit too. It felt cool, but no, that was it was so insecure.
It was funny. It was very funny.
I mean, honestly, like I get that it was awful, but also I'll probably never see those guys again.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the thing, man. I think about that a lot.
That's literally like on that trip. It was really because I got the mullet. I was like, it doesn't matter, dude. Everyone, if you think about it, everyone's really just an anxious bag of meat, bro. Like that's what we're all doing out here. No one really knows what they're doing. They're just faking it till they make it.
Yeah. It was fun, man. That was a lot of fun.
That's when I started rolling with it. I was like, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing.
You don't even know that they existed before you arrived. So
I mean, technically, I don't know that Hawaii existed before I watched Hawaii Five-0. So
That was the birth of the majority of the Skinny Ricks too. That was where it kind of we
Yes.
started making a bunch of them.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Skinny Rick showed you how
Rick,
to sand people.
the
Yeah.
YouTube channel's still up there, but we got locked out of it. I saw
Really?
it the other day.
Oh,
the Rick
dang,
Rambley?
dude. Oh yeah.
It's still on there.
Dang. Well, look, dude. Let's get back on
Yeah,
track.
let's get
with
back to
crap.
this family.
Look up. Let's look up what Prince Andrew's duties were in the royal family.
Yeah. So is he going to be at Thanksgiving now that he's no longer doing his duties as a royal?
Dude, they don't celebrate Thanksgiving over there. Maybe they
It's an American holiday. Yo, you think he's
No,
gonna-
dude, they got
Yo,
like. Did they do Christmas then?
You guys think he's gonna be out here for our July 4th celebration?
Maybe,
Aren't we? Is it July 4th? Us celebrating beating them?
dude.
All right. Let's see. Prince Andrew's public exile, including patron role. Scroll
It's
down.
a Thanksgiving episode, dude. I'm not saying they can't. They can celebrate Thanksgiving.
They can celebrate it for sure. It's just us being thankful that we're not over there.
It's not why I do it.
I mean, I do it for the food for sure.
Just look up
even
like
gonna lie.
what's Prince Andrew's job basically.
I mean, does he have one?
I mean, apparently he does. If he had to step.
Because I
down
feel
for
like when you're in the royal family, your job is just to be royal. Like, I could be wrong.
I don't know, man.
Prince Andrew. I mean,
All
he's
right,
a
just click the
duke.
Wikipedia and we'll see.
No, we're
it should have his
still-
career.
We're still doing dukes, apparently.
Yeah, dude. Of course we're doing Dukes. They're still England. Military service. So
Do you think they'll ever come up with
he's
like
a
new
career.
role?
He's a career naval officer. Click that.
Okay.
Career naval officer. This is
Wait-
Wikipedia. So
wait,
we're
Where do you,
no. You don't see where it says career
I
naval.
can't
Where
read.
you just were?
this?
No.
I see it. Dude, I can't do like the Where's Waldo books because I can't find anything. I'm just kidding.
Okay,
I'm actually
so
really good at those.
83, he transferred to RNAS Portland and was trained to fly the Lynx helicopter on February 1st, 1984, he was promoted to the rank of lieutenant, where the Queen appointed her as her aide-de-camp. Prince Andrew served aboard HMS Brazen as flight pilot. All right, let's go up a little bit.
Up.
He was no.
You mean
I'm talking
now?
about I'm talking about in years.
Oh.
From 1995 to 1996, the Duke was posted as senior pilot of 815 Naval Air Squadron, then the largest flying unit of the Fleet Air Arm. His main responsibility was to supervise flying standards to guarantee an effective operational capacity. He was promoted to commander. So, in 2015, he was promoted to vice admiral. So he's just a career military guy. And I want to say at one point he was doing a bunch of weapons deals and all that stuff.
I'm not trying to do a disrespect or anything, but I'm just curious. Like, what? I don't know, dude. Like, what is he doing? Like, is he actually doing a war anywhere?
Dude, I have
Or
no.
is he
I
just-
don't know anything about
or is he
British
just showing
economy
up?
or anything
Well,
like that.
because, like,
Really.
here's my thing. When I think about, like, Israel and their military, it's insane, the type of crap. They're basically always at war with someone. Someone's always trying to kill them.
Yeah.
Like, people hate Israel for some reason. So, like, when you think of, like, a ranking officer in their military, and it's like
I don't
if
really.
you-
I don't really think about
if you were to
that
talk
very much.
if you were to talk about the royal family and, like, this guy's role, like, what is that? What's the contrast there? Like, for a guy who has actually had to make decisions that put his people's life in danger, like, had to risk stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like,
Well,
where's
let's look at that. Click that Lynx helicopter. Let's look at that thing he used to fly back in the day. I mean, let's look at what he used to do, dude. He did some work with NATO. It looks like. Look, that's a freaking
that's
old
a
school
helicopter
army
for
thing,
sure.
you know. So I
So
mean,
he-
that's in 2013. So you know that, like, back that was in '84. That picture right there is from 2013. So there's no telling what that
His first flight was
actual
in
model is,
1971.
but yeah, I mean, he was a
I mean,
military
for
guy,
sure.
you know. Go back real quick.
Just hit back.
Yeah, I wanted to look at. There was
That's
something
fine.
else that caught my eye. He also acted as Force Aviation Officers, Standing RNF Maritime Group 1, while Campbellton was flagship of the NATO force in North Atlantic from 1990 to 1991. So he worked some with NATO as well, which
Okay.
North Atlantic Treaty Organization, if you didn't know what
Yeah.
that meant.
They're the ones who do the regulations. They
Yeah.
kind of enforce a lot of, I guess, rules of conduct in war times. They've got, like, agreements on what is humane.
Yeah.
as if war is
Humane.
Humane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the whole reason that, like, our military switched from using, like, 308 rounds, which are just bigger,
Yeah.
to 5.56 is because it was deemed more humane.
it's a bullet.
Yeah.
It's a well, okay, all right. I don't want to spend too much time on this because we did talk about this a lot.
I mean, it's
on the
like- I mean,
last
it's-
episode.
it's-
they just do different things.
Yeah, it's like I
because
get
a
it, but
308, you're basically dead when you get hit by it.
Yeah.
that's kind
Like,
of the
if
point.
you get hit in the torso, you're basically dead. Like, limb, you can live because you just lose the limb. The difference with a 5.56 is that it's so small that if it hits any bones, it's going to ricochet. So you basically bleed internally. The idea is that it doesn't kill you right away. It just puts you down. You could get saved. But also, you could puncture a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's another thing. It's just like, they decided it. That's what we're doing. But
Yeah. Let's look up real quick while we're still talking. Start looking up the two guards from that. Yeah, from the prison.
What was it? They
Let's find
failed to
out.
do their job, or 2 guards under
Just type in the
investigation?
guards from
Oh, I
MCC.
can spell. What did you say?
MCC.
M
Yeah.
CC?
I think that's what it's called. Yeah, there we go.
Arrest of
so this
jail.
is CNBC. So if you don't like CNBC, go
Fast forward
watch TV
on
with whatever you want to watch. So
Go watch some Disney Plus, bro.
yeah. Okay, so this right here is in reference to 2 of the guards that were supposedly in charge of monitoring Jeffrey Epstein whenever he was on this suicide watch and high security prison deal. So 2 guards at a Manhattan jail were criminally charged in connection with allegedly botching safety checks on wealthy investor Jeffrey Epstein before his death in August. Go up, you're passing up the whole thing.
Oh.
Michael Thomas and Tova Noel, or Noel, I don't know, whatever, whoever's name is Tova, I don't know what to say about that. Were working at the Metropolitan Correctional Center at the time of Epstein's death, which authorities have ruled was a suicide by hanging. Epstein, a former friend of President Donald Trump and Bill Clinton, as well as Britain's Prince Andrew, was facing child sex trafficking charges, which were sparked by Miami Herald investigation. All right, go down. 2 guards. This is exactly what it is.
Yeah, it says exactly this.
The indictment says that both guards effectively confessed their failure right after the 66-year-old Epstein was found unresponsive with a noose around his neck in a cell at 6:33 a.m. on August 10th. Epstein hung himself. Noel allegedly told a supervisor, the indictment says. Scroll down.
This is so sketchy, dude.
We did not complete the 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. rounds.
All right. Okay. You're telling me that we have one of the biggest arrests in I don't even know how long. And you're not doing your job, the thing that you get paid to do. You're not doing that.
This is the most.
I have such a hard time believing that they just we forgot.
This is the most important.
Well, they didn't forget. They just didn't do it.
I mean, that's what I'm like.
I mean, you got to think too. I mean, and this isn't to stick up for him in any way, shape, or form. But I mean, if they put him in this place, it's probably not the first time that some high profile. Now again, this is incredibly high profile.
Yeah.
But for them to decide this is where we're going to put him, they've probably been around this type of stuff a bunch. So I mean, it's or you would think that they've. Again, it's not this
my
level.
thing is you would think that you'd have some competent staff in a high security place like this. So my point is that there's no way
you would think
there's no way that these guys just did this. There's something else happening for sure.
So this is my opinion on this.
I mean, I'll be the crazy conspiracy guy. I don't buy it, dude. There's no way these guys just
human animal hybrids with pigs and cows.
Yes, dude.
This is the most
something.
This guy was the most important intelligence asset that we've ever had in custody ever. This is, this guy should have been. This guy should have been, locked in the White House basement or.
I mean, dude, even in one of those insane asylum rooms where they just got padding everywhere and you're in a straitjacket so you can't hang yourself.
No, he needed some serious. I mean, Metropolitan Correctional Center. That's the name of the place that was. You know what I'm saying? This is as high profile as it gets, and
they just let him do a death.
Yep. No matter, regardless of how it happened. Dude,
I don't buy it. For sure they didn't do the job. I'm saying the reason they didn't do it was not just we didn't want to or we forgot. It was definitely something else. Someone told them.
They could have been having sex,
to.
dude. It was I'm being serious. It was a male and a female officer. It's 3:00 in the morning.
Could you imagine?
It's possible. Look at what it says, dude.
I get it. No, it's possible. But could
Thomas
you imagine
then allegedly chimed in. We messed up. I messed up. She's not to blame. We didn't do any
if they're
rounds.
doing a sex, and then you're done doing the sex, and you go to do your job, and then you realize, we let him die.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I'm not. Saying that they
I'm
were
just
having sex,
I
but
just
they
think
could have been having sex.
I just definitely think if you're gonna have a job that is that much pressure, do the job.
I mean, they were probably off, trying to like set up their offshore bank account or something.
Just, dude, let's just get some people in here who are gonna do a security. Like, if that's your,
is that what? I don't know, man. I just, even with all of it, all the stuff coming out,
This
it's
is
like,
the
I mean,
same-
like, I guess, yeah.
this is the same thing.
They
like,
say this dude. I mean, like, we can say that they can tell me that he hanged himself as
Oh, I mean, I
many
don't-
times as they want.
whether he
And it's-
killed himself or not, I mean, the thing is, like, it doesn't change the fact that we don't have him in, like, we don't
Right.
have him in custody.
He could be alive. I mean, think
He-
about all the.
theoretically, dude.
Think about
Be
every.
hanging out with.
Think about all the stuff that's happened since then, and now, like, what's happening again
Tupac.
with. It's like, you had the Popeyes thing happen right afterwards. You had
Yeah,
the.
you and I have talked about that a couple times.
You had Greta Thunberg that we talked about
Time
last
traveler.
episode. The climate, that thing took up all of the media for a good minute, and then you had.
Yeah. So what happened to his funeral? I mean, like, what did they do with his body? Like, what has happened with him? since
Supposedly an
then?
associate claimed his body, and he has an unmarked grave somewhere in New York.
That doesn't.
No, dude, no.
That doesn't add up to me.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Unmarked
just like,
grave,
it's
as in
just
like in the bottom of a river in New York.
It's the same thing as,
Who knows?
like, if we're in a rush and I'm making waffle sandwiches and I don't make one of them, I didn't do the only thing that I'm supposed to do. I didn't. That's what this is. Oh, you're a security officer? Oh, you didn't do a security? Fail. It's not
Yeah.
it's not like they forgot to, like, put the keys on the hook. Oh, they fell behind the desk.
But how crazy this thing
This is-
keeps swooping in either direction just makes me feel like this is like, media wise, the coverage on it, this is what would happen if somebody in witness protection was seen by like 50 people at one time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. It's like, I saw him at the Starbucks
And it's like,
in
let's get
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Let's get ahead of it. Let's get Baden to say that it wasn't him
Who
killing
knows?
himself. It was homicide, and then everybody talks about that. Then you've got all the memes coming out.
Who knows? Maybe he did.
Popeyes
Maybe he
strikes
did
again.
Maybe he did a plastic surgery and is living out on Skinwalker Ranch or something.
Dude,
knows,
it's for
dude?
sure. They definitely want you to think he's dead. I mean,
What?
it doesn't really. Either way,
Look up Baden, dude. I want you to type in Baden resume.
this is the guy who did the autopsy,
Can't spell
right?
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're gonna use.
All
Is
right.
that how you
It's
spell?
spelled like resume, but
Jeez.
it's got a little something extra.
English needs to frick off.
Okay, so
Well,
you
resume
can click.
isn't-
Isn't English?
Look right here. See the bio. Well, let's not go to his. Well, yeah, let's see what he claims. This.
He's got a website.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, look at this dude.
So first thing I want to say is this guy's super old, and I want to read the jobs that he's done and tell me if this isn't the perfect guy to do this. This is all the most high profile conspiracy stuff that now is like, we know that a lot of this stuff didn't happen the way that the official report said they did. So School of Medicine. He's done 20,000 autopsies.
Jeez.
Keep going down. I don't know if it's gonna say.
That's the end of it, dude.
Okay, just to let you know who he did. He did Lee Harvey Oswald. He did JFK, Martin Luther King Jr. He was a psychiatrist that analyzed Jack Ruby right before he killed Lee Harvey Oswald. Oh my gosh. Like, it's all of the biggest
Is there anything he
conspiracies
hasn't done?
that are out there.
That's crazy though, dude. I was
Was-
trying to read through some more of his stuff because it mentions all the.
What was
OJ
It's got some
Simpson.
OJ Simpson stuff in there. Yeah.
I'm not trying to get super far
Something
off
about
track.
John
But
Belushi and
was there ever a conspiracy that JFK didn't die? Was that ever a conspiracy?
That he didn't die?
Yeah.
No.
oh
No,
no, dude.
he
I
got
don't.
blown
I mean,
up, dude, on TV.
I know,
Oh.
but like and we're positive it wasn't someone else.
No, they had a comedian. There was a comedian that actually the famous Zapruder film. It was some famous comedian at that time. It was the one that got a hold of that film and released it 10 years after the assassination. It's crazy. Crazy. Back then, you had stuff like that.
The
You know
video,
what I'm
you're
saying?
talking about the video of him getting shot?
Yeah, the different angle that
they
started the whole
found.
like magic bullet theory, and that there was another shooter, you know,
Oh, sure.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that footage though, something feels weird about that footage to me. It just
About
the
what
way
footage?
the way everyone reacts when he gets shot just seems. I don't know. It just seems off.
Dude, there's some stuff.
I wish I had a better way to describe it.
If you want to get freaked out, like, you can dig into some of that. Like I've told you before, allegedly Woody Harrelson's dad,
Yeah, was
which is
involved.
confirmed a big mob assassin. He was there dressed up as a homeless person. You had a few different situations. A lady say that like the curb where
had just been painted.
yeah, that they were supposed to make the turn or whatever had just been painted to kind of signify to different, you know,
Oh, I see, yeah.
wherever you were at, like he's making this corner, like line up your shot now type
Right.
deal.
Yeah.
I mean, there was
definitely there was a lot happening that was staged.
I mean, well, they'd have to do something like that, especially at the time. I mean, if you're really trying to do something like that and make it accurate, I mean, because we have technology where we can communicate to each other in an instant, but I mean, something like that would take heaps of planning
Yeah.
to do. But I mean, that's just
And
this
it would
stuff goes so deep. I mean, it's absolutely
it would take the best assassins, and it would take
yeah.
the mob, and it would take other politicians.
Oh
and-
yeah.
I mean, it would take all.
It was the Clintons.
I mean, everything. I mean, just everything was lined up for them to be able to do it. And then right after that, you know, what's his name?
Have we checked Hillary's emails about the JFK stuff?
We can. What was
I'm sorry.
was it Lyndon B. Johnson that took over after
I
him?
believe so.
Who was JFK's vice president? I want to say that that's who it was.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't pass up those.
Well, I mean,
No,
it's
for
funny
sure.
because it's true.
So Lyndon B. Johnson, you know, he
Like,
was
Her
like
emails are incriminating.
he was
What
for
the heck?
he was
Stop that.
for the Vietnam War. JFK wasn't. You got to do the camera.
Yeah.
And right after, as soon as he got like inaugurated after the assassination, he was like, "Let's go to Vietnam." And there were tons of people that were upset with JFK over the fact that he didn't want to go there. And it's, I mean, it's strange.
I mean,
it's very strange.
uh,
But this guy Baden, he, I mean, you know, if you
how
want to do
old-
it,
How old is he?
he's like 80 something.
50 million?
Go look at his Wikipedia. You'll be able to see it on the,
Go back.
yeah, granted nobody. I mean, he was prominent enough in the 70s to be able to do. Born on 1934. Dude, this is the oldest person.
I don't know, dude. I think my great grandma's older.
I don't know, dude.
I'm pretty sure she is, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
But
pretty
this
sure
is-
she was born. Because if he's 85, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
she's like
look at all the stuff that
92.
he's known for. The testimonies. So OJ, JFK, MLK,
And the death of Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Keep
That's
going
how my
down.
brain read it, unfortunately.
Martin Luther King. Yep. It does say in the death of Epstein. Man.
Well,
But it just, you know, it doesn't take long. This is the thing. Everybody's always like, you know, Callie says it to me all the time. She thinks that I just sometimes regurgitate what other people are saying. And I'm just like, it doesn't take, you don't have to dig far. It's a couple clicks away. The truth is just a couple clicks away. So they say, Michael Baden's doing this thing. Okay, so what do we need to do then? We just look him up. And that's it. It was the same thing yesterday. Whenever we start talking about the Thanksgiving thing in a second, I was showing her mom this last night. She's like, look, it was supposedly whenever we made peace with like this tribe, blah, blah, blah. In the same year, We killed all of them. And you know what I did from the page she was on, Britannica? I just pressed the tribe.
Yeah.
That's it. It doesn't take. It's not hard
It's
to
not
do it.
difficult.
It's not hard to do
You
it.
just
Most of the time, the
you
truth
gotta
is
get
right
off
in front of your
social
face.
media first. Is the thing. Don't get your info from social media.
Yeah, you see, because you're living in here, and I need you to live in here, bro.
Specifically,
in here.
Yeah. It just doesn't take much to figure it out, and that's not a bash on anybody in particular.
I mean,
like it's
it
just,
kinda
we were just
is
looking. No,
definitely
I mean
a
we were
bash
just
on
looking up the
half the
story of
population.
Thanksgiving. Like she wasn't
Right.
saying like this is what happened. I was just like in it. I was like, okay, this is what this says about Thanksgiving. Let's just click on this and see what maybe the truth of it could be. And within the same encyclopedia,
I'll just save it for whenever we get
Dang.
to it because I do
Yeah.
have something to say. But it's
Well, I mean, that's like even in, our own founding documents, we've got the same thing that says all men are created equal
but
Yeah.
with the rights of all this. And then
Yeah,
in a
but
couple
then-
paragraphs down, it's referring to Native Americans as savages.
Yeah.
So it clearly
well,
didn't
that's how
have
they did it.
everyone in mind.
That's how they did it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is like we gotta make sure we're guarding our definitions because the way that they defined men, they didn't consider Native Americans
I mean,
or
it-
slaves
yeah,
to
and
be people.
And it literally meant men. And even on top of that, you had to own land and
Yeah.
a number of things like that.
So
you just have to pay attention to what's happening. Like, here's the thing. Like, are you paying attention to the news? All right, pay attention to the news. Is Trump guilty of some type of collusion with Russia or Ukraine or something like that? Probably so, but that's not even what it's about anymore. So that's the stuff that you have to pay attention to. Like right now, these
you know what
impeachment
time it
hearings
is right
now
now?
are about the GOP. They're not even about Trump at this point. And you just got to pay attention to what's happening and who's saying it and all that and do your own looking. It's 420, I'm assuming,
yeah.
based on Skinny Rick's.
oh, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I sent you some of that stuff last night, Quinn.
Yeah.
Did either of you catch, or you can look this up online, Lowe's had a debacle on their website where if you looked at, you probably can't even find it now. I looked this morning and they took it down. But somebody took for a bunch of their kitchen scales and it all had marijuana on the scales being weighed out. And
for
you could
the
pick from
thumbnail.
and you could pick from nearly 6 different ones that had all of the all the photos on there. They took all the
Just
stuff
go
down.
To type in Lowe's. And
Yeah,
all
not
right,
that.
just
It's
hit
got
all.
an E in it.
Huh?
Just hit all.
Oh, I can't. Dude, all right. Look. Hit all?
Yeah, but you're searching images to hit.
Oh, there it
all.
is, dude.
Okay.
There
all
it
right.
is.
Where I
It was in
freaking
there,
did
dude,
the
right
thing.
there.
Yeah.
Look on the top, on the on the right side.
It's eBay, but that was the same
No,
picture.
but
Oh, it was the same photo. Yeah,
This is it.
that's their. Yep,
Yeah.
they removed the kitchen scale. Yeah, dude. They had so many to choose from. I can't remember. I saw it online, and I was like, dude, there's no way this is true. And I mean, in less than an hour, they snatched all this stuff back down.
Yeah. I don't know if
you think the person who did it didn't know what weed looked like, or do you think that they did it on purpose?
Here's what I think it is. Go to Lowe's website real quick.
I'm thankful for happy accidents.
Yeah. Just do Lowe's website, regular. Click that. Now, look up.
Scale.
No. Look up.
Weed.
Yeah, sure. Look up scale.
It's gonna ask you where they want to be. I had to go through all this and
Keep
look.
going down.
Blam.
Theirs are in all the ones to find this are in like the specialty ones.
Oh,
They're
really?
not under like kitchen
Okay,
appliances
stop.
or things
Hang
like
on,
that.
go down, go down.
All right, I'm
and
gonna-
then stop.
no.
Okay, click any of those on that row.
This or this?
That it doesn't matter.
I'm clicking this one.
Click that one, dude. Scroll down.
Hello.
Stop.
I
Scroll up
stopped.
a little bit.
I don't know. what I'm looking
Interesting. So what I wanted to check was Walmart actually does like an Amazon thing now, to where through Walmart's page they do
for.
like third party sellers.
Oh.
So I was curious as to if maybe that's what it was, if they had somebody that was posting that stuff, but it looks like this is just straight up Lowe's. Lowe's just sells Lowe's stuff. It's
Dude,
interesting.
It's wild. I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I took
That's very
screenshots at like 11 o'clock last
Yeah.
night.
I got sent a bunch of them. We'll put them up on the screen.
Dude, that stuff, I cannot believe that somebody either had a bad day at work or it had a great day at work.
Dude,
Yeah.
maybe that was maybe that was them officially resigning.
Yeah. Hey, so on a
Because you know they got fired.
on a interesting note, depending on where your stance on it is, yesterday the Congress got passed legislation to federally legalize pot, and so now it has
Really?
to. Now it goes to Senate. Yep.
I'll tell you what my
24
stance
to
on it
11, I
is.
think.
My stance on it is I don't like putting things in my body that isn't food or water.
I know.
You had a milkshake earlier, though.
I mean, that's mostly water.
No, it's not, dude. It's mostly like plastic.
Here's
really.
the thing. Human beings are mostly water.
Exactly.
So that's
Wait.
that's interesting. So now it falls to the state's discretion.
Dude, today is a great day. My phone battery is at 69%. Dude, back to back,
I don't know
bro.
what to say.
Oh my
to that.
gosh. Dude, back to back. Both the memes in literally 5 minutes.
Pom, 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 pom.
I'm telling your dad.
That's fine, dude. It was worth it. I had a good run.
I had a good run. It's time for my internet to be over with.
Someone take the internet away from this young man.
Dude, I don't know.
Someone take it away
The
right
problem
now.
is if you do that, I'll just end up being in the woods, bro. You know what John did? Just disappearing for 20
Cool,
years.
John, yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we
do.
recently met a dude, a friend of ours, Sergio. He comes into the shop all the time. He's from Argentina. He was like a hitchhiker back in the 80s. And just crazy stories of the stuff that he would get into and the stuff that he would do. He's got a friend that he refers to as Cool John. And Cool John lived off the grid for over 20 years, straight up. And is like
That's what's up, dude.
mad analog, doesn't just now finally like got a bank account again, like only use cash, like you're only paying him that. He only would take like specific jobs, lived out in the middle of nowhere. Like it's just,
Hell yeah.
it's
I'd do it with but you'd have to take the internet from me first.
oh yeah, dude. I mean, and that's his thing. Like I was talking to him the other day about cell phones, and because like I'm a little more analog than
Does he have
like
one?
most of the people. I think he has one now because he
kind of has.
well
to.
yeah, he had to come back. He was taking care of his mom.
Yeah. Now, how
Or,
did he find out that his mom needed to be taken care of if he was off the grid?
Somebody probably came and found it. I mean, I had an uncle who chose to. He liked making fishing lures, so like he did that, and he liked fishing, so he didn't want to work a job, so he had a tent, and he lived. We just knew where he stayed. He was basically homeless, for lack of a better way to put it.
I mean, homeless just means you don't have a home.
I mean, yeah, but this dude, it
was by choice.
Yeah,
sort of,
my uncle, what I'm getting at is he was basically doing the same thing. I mean, like he just chose to live.
Yeah. It's
Like
not
in a
like,
different
it's-
way, and I'm not saying that like John like was homeless, and I get that some of that is different, but I mean he basically chose to live the same way. But we knew where he was. That's what I'm getting at. Is even though he had chosen to not have a phone, to do this and just go fishing all the time, like we knew where we could go find him because we knew where he kept his tent and where he was living.
And he was probably the best uncle you had, huh?
I just remember one time him
let me ask
coming
you-
over to our house, and he was a little drunk, and he tried to smoke inside
Let me ask you this.
our house, which was a big no-no. And that's I liked him a lot. I didn't see him all the time,
Yeah.
but he
Let me ask you this. Between Christmas and your birthday, how many fishing lures did you acquire as a child?
oh no, not many. He started doing that when
None?
I was grown.
Oh, okay.
I was an adult, and he but he always liked to fish, was his thing. He used to take my cousin fishing all the time, and they but he used to draw and stuff too. I remember there's this photo, he used to have like this friggin' gnarly mustache. It was tight, but I don't know. It's just
Now, back whenever you were a kid, he probably could have got off smoking that cigarette inside.
no,
Maybe
no,
not
no.
at your house.
No, not
but
at our house, but yeah,
at
it's different times.
At a lot of places, he
He could have been smoking inside.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
yeah,
got one of them.
Most
he used
places
to
in
smoke them
Louisiana-
manual jewels.
Whenever I was a kid in Louisiana, it was more it was more common that you could smoke somewhere than not. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean I still remember going to a number of restaurants back in my hometown, even not that long ago. They still had smoking sections, and I mean,
And they still got those. Basically, Paris is a smoking zone.
yeah, that's the world smoking section.
I'm telling you, dude, freaking, you want to talk about stereotypes are bad? Let's just be honest. Some of them are real. People in Paris smoke like it's their jobs, dude. I don't know how, but they also, there's a lot of old people. All right, so I don't know how they're doing
It's the
living.
cigs.
I don't know how they're living.
Those
that
aren't
long.
old people. They're only 20. They've just been smoking since they were 3 years
See,
old.
that makes a lot more sense because there's no way people are living that long, smoking as much as they do. I mean, the price on cigarettes has to be lower over there.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, those are young people.
Also,
those aren't old people.
Also, the reward points. Your buddy who got the pool table.
Yeah.
Those don't exist in Paris. I can
No,
guarantee
that was
because
my-
they'd
that
run
was
out
one
of
my,
money. Your buddy.
people. Yeah.
No way. There's no way that those exist over there. You can't get rewards.
Shout
points
out to the
'cause
alls, man.
It's like they smoke like they're drinking water. Maybe more than they drink water. They probably smoke more than they drink water, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't know, dude.
it could be offensive, but it's also very real. Like, I'm not trying to be
Just-
offensive, but also if you're French, you know, dude. You know that people smoke.
I mean,
in
yeah. I mean, you
Paris.
could be a French dude and not smoke, but
For
if I-
sure, it's possible.
But I'm definitely thinking of somebody who's French. They're probably smoking.
Dude, I would love to smoke a cigarette in France. I'm not even lying, dude. I would love that crap. You know,
Yeah, dude, have a coffee and a cigarette.
in France, next to the Eiffel Tower, dude, I'm gonna wear one of them little red hats.
Get you a little,
That looks like it's
get you
got
a
a-
little scarf.
Yeah.
The Eiffel
One of those
Towers.
hats that looks like it's got an apple stem on the top of it.
So the Eiffel Tower's
That and the
really
deep
cool,
V with a
but-
cardigan.
but also like it's really cool, but also it's not like you think it's gonna be where it's like, oh, I'm gonna go like to this like hillside where they got a cafe and I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna. No, it's like you're in a downtown city and then all of a sudden there's the Eiffel Tower. Like you can't, like you don't even know it's there until you're on top of it because the
Really?
buildings block it. Like
Oh wow.
you're walking around, you're like, oh, where's the Eiffel Tower? Oh, it's over there. You get over there and then bam, it's right there. You're standing underneath it.
It's crazy.
It's awesome though, yeah.
Oh, I mean, for sure. I'm not like, I've never been someone who's just super impressed by architecture in the sense of like, even seeing the Statue of Liberty was like, that was cool.
No, I feel that.
But yeah, I mean, if you're someone who's like, man, I just love going to see structures.
Buildings.
Yeah. If you're like, man, like man-made structures are so dope.
That's where it's at.
You definitely go see it because you can go up to the top of it. We went up to the top. It's freezing cold.
Couldn't you not for a while?
No, you're
I
thinking
don't
of the
know.
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. You're right.
Can you go on the Statue of
No,
Liberty?
not anymore.
It's we don't know because there's a bunch. It's a big conspiracy thing there. I read this whole
What
thread.
do we think's in it?
No, it was this conspiracy. I forget what it is. I read this whole thread and went through where it was supposedly you've like never been able to get in the very top or something. And like the island it was on was different. There's a bunch of like, it's like time
Like
warping stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're saying that
Mandela
basically
effect.
yeah, it's that and a mix of what it basically that the world did end like in 2012 or whatever, and that's why we have all this other. It's a weird whole thing that they broke down. They like laid all this stuff together, and that's one of the things was you can technically like you've never been able to get to the top of it or something, even though people have photos from. It's
Well, I will say if you've ever seen the movie Tomorrowland, which I think is an extremely underrated movie,
Which one?
the Disney movie that came out that like no one really cared about.
Yeah, including myself.
I loved it.
Does it have George Clooney in it?
Good. Yeah, I think so. Anyway,
I think that's all I know about it. I can see it in my head. I know you've got a pin
Yeah,
for it.
on my
Yep.
apron at work. If you watch that movie, there's a scene, spoiler alert, where the way they get to Tomorrowland is they got
Is through.
the
It's
Eiffel
through-
Tower is a is a
port key.
spaceship. So the thing. It like opens up and it's basically a launching platform, but instead of it going to space, it goes to high up in orbit, and then the base opens a portal, and then you fall back down into it. It shoots you up, and then
You got to be going like a certain speed,
yeah,
falling speed, or
like
something.
like Back to the Future. You got to reach a certain speed, and I would believe it because standing up there, that's what it felt like. I was like, we're finna time travel or something. So there's a room up there. There's like an office, a little living space. You can't go into it, but you can look into it. It looks like a furnished. It looks like something that shouldn't be up there. There's like nice carpets. There's some sick paintings.
Like for sale?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
It's just a part of history.
I bet it's where
People used to hang out up there.
I bet it's where the architect or somebody probably lived while they were trying to complete some of it or something like that.
I don't know, man. But if you're scared of heights like me, it'll get you.
Are you afraid of heights or are you afraid of falling?
Afraid of heights.
I'm definitely afraid of the falling. Being up high doesn't bother
Here's
me as
my
much
thing: is I'm not as afraid of falling from the top of the Eiffel Tower as I am off a scaffolding. Because if I fall off a scaffolding,
It's not even nearly as high.
what?
It's not.
No, that's the thing. Because I'm dying if I fall off the Eiffel Tower. If I fall off a scaffolding, I could just be paralyzed for a while.
Did
You
I
could
ever-
just be paralyzed if you fell off the Eiffel Tower.
I never showed
You think you could live from falling off the Eiffel Tower, dude?
It's a 50-50 chance.
It'll either happen or it won't.
Yeah.
Did I ever show you the one of that guy falling off of that crane?
No,
I
I
show you
didn't
that?
really want to watch that one.
Yeah, you did, dude. That dude was tweaked out, and that was hard.
I'm not super into watching people get themselves killed.
I mean, I'm not necessarily either, but it just comes across. Look, I'm gonna tell you this,
I'm
and this is
not saying
something.
you
Maybe this is poor judgment on my part, but if there's a thing that you have to click on Facebook to uncover the picture,
I'm clicking it. I'm so gonna click
I'm
it.
clicking it.
Yeah,
Click
that's
it every time.
that actually happened to me the other day. I was with all the stuff that's going on in Hong Kong.
Yep, we just watched that earlier.
Yeah, some of those videos and some of the footage and the photos.
Well,
from
that's
that
another.
were pretty,
I
pretty
get that
wild.
it's probably not. It's really not any better. It's probably worse. But for some reason, like watching someone fall from a high place or like someone kill themselves, whether intentional or unintentional, is different than watching a video of someone kill someone else. Like seeing someone shoot someone else is very different in my mind than watching a dude do a splat on the ground.
Yeah, there's some internet stuff that I don't think you would not be happy to know it existed.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some pretty ridiculous stuff.
yeah, things that
It's
were on
the
the internet.
internet.
The things that were like so readily available at one point, I feel like on the internet has changed. I was talking with Kenneth the other day about rotten.com. I don't know if you ever remember that, but like I used to go on there and it'd be like some kid who got his hand, he for some reason put his hand into a meat grinder.
Yep.
And crap like that, you know? I mean, it's
Did
like,
he live?
yeah, I mean, but it, like his hand was like
Oh, yeah.
in, like just his arm was like,
Oh, like it was doing one of these,
and he like
not
put his,
one of these.
and he like put his hand in it, and
how'd they get his hand out?
I don't know. All I just saw was the picture of his hand in there.
So
like,
it's doing this. So its arms getting pulled into it, yeah.
yeah, like it's somehow like you could see like his like one of his fingers had like
Yeah,
come
they were
through
all
like it was.
they were all wrong. Did they turn it off?
I don't remember. It was just at this time, the internet was not nearly as fast as it is now. So it was like I'm clicking on this and it's uploading
and
a
it's
photo
doing
in
the-
like 30
it's doing
minutes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's still stuff like
That
that.
thing.
There's one that's much worse.
Oh, I'm sure that there's. Anyway, let's talk about Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Let's do the Thanksgiving thing real quick. So, what we're gonna do
Let's do the main part
is,
of the episode.
you know, the
At the
traditional belief around Thanksgiving is, the story goes it that the Pilgrims had
We're gonna starve.
Yeah, the Pilgrims, after being taught how to cultivate different crops, and after they taught the Native Americans some different
weapons
situations as well. They shared a
meal together.
delicious harvest meal.
to be thankful that they had each other to
Which-
survive.
I looked a moment ago. They don't celebrate Thanksgiving technically in the UK, but they do celebrate
The harvest.
Yeah, they have a harvest festival kind of thing. It's basically
I mean,
it's
that
something
sounds
similar.
more like a cult thing. than
They
anything.
also do that on World of Warcraft.
Either that or a music festival. I can't. It might be the same thing.
Dude. They do it on World of Warcraft, dude.
The harvest.
Bro. Sometimes I want to do a WoW, but let's not even talk about that. All right, let's go ahead and look this up. Look up the story of Thanksgiving and type in Britannica afterwards, because like I said earlier, I did a little bit of research on this last night, and we're not going to get too deep into this because we're already pretty far into this episode. But there you go. Good.
This.
Yeah.
Boom.
So
Blam.
basically, you know, what this thing is going to tell you is that in like most places in the world that do experience a bountiful harvest around the fall time do celebrate some form of a harvest festival.
I mean, it's a good thing. Food. Thankful that you ain't dying yet.
Yep. Keep going down. Or Skinny Rick. Oh, well, you're going to have to take that out.
bleep it out.
Okay. Stop.
Hopefully no one knows how to read laps.
Click on
Yeah, we'll
that.
put a little Dude, I know this picture. I've seen this one somewhere, dude.
Keep
Probably
scrolling down.
Maybe on like a postcard. What is this, Red Lobster?
So just scroll up, and we're gonna have to.
There's one
I don't
about
think
there's
this
one
is-
about the war in there about a bunch of folks dying
Oh,
in the next paragraph up.
Jeez.
Go up.
This one?
Okay, so we're just
Fish,
gonna read this.
eels.
Plymouth's Thanksgiving began with a few colonists going out fowling, possibly for turkeys, but more probably for the easier prey of geese and ducks, since they in one day killed as much as served the company almost a week. Next, 90 or so how do you even say this?
I would say it's probably Wampanoag.
Wampanoag made a surprise appearance at the settlement's gate, doubtlessly unnerving the 50 or so colonists. Nevertheless, over the next few days, the two groups socialized without incident. The Wampanoag contributed venison to the feast, which included the fowl and probably fish, eels, shellfish, stews, vegetables, and beer, since Plymouth had few buildings and manufactured goods. Most people ate outside while sitting on the ground or on barrels with plates in their laps. The men fired guns, ran races, and drank liquor, struggling to speak in broken English and Wampanoag. I'm probably butchering that so bad. I'm really sorry if I am. This was a rather disorderly affair, but it sealed a treaty between the two groups that lasted until King Philip's War, 1675 to 76, in which hundreds of colonists and thousands of Native Americans lost their lives. Scroll down.
So this is.
Go back real quick. Go like hit the back button.
Yep.
Because I want to scroll down a little bit. Click that. Thanksgiving in the United States. Is this different or no?
Yes.
Scroll down. Stamp. Okay. Now, so they celebrated this harvest meal in 1621. Now, go back to the first article that we were on, and
It said that there was peace for
yeah,
a while.
go back up. Click it. Now click that there, yeah. Do we really have to do this to do this? Can you not? It won't let you scroll down on it. It's locked.
It's the internet.
All right, just
Don't
copy that name. Yeah, and then just
don't
paste it into
ask
Google.
for me to pay for something I could find anywhere else. You just want me to look up their history?
Yeah, I'll say this.
I'm
dude.
looking into some of it now. more people showed up and started displacing the Native Americans, but then the leader of the tribe, who was known as King Philip to the English, tried to basically, they were getting them drunk and getting them to agree to things while they were drunk, and he tried to outlaw it. They said no, and then basically they murdered somebody, and then it was undone.
To the point of this tribe's extinction, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's still only, I think the thing I was just reading says there's less than like 2,000 remaining descendants alive now, and they still live in that area. But yeah, it was it's crazy that they still, I don't know, just referring to him as King Philip.
Yeah. Scroll down some. Read a little bit of this.
You did it again.
What? Oh, yeah, I know. My bad. Stop. Overall, King Philip felt that the English were having negative effects on the ways of his tribe. The war only lasted a year, but it was the bloodiest of the Indian wars, which most of the Wampanoag Indians and their allies, the Narragansett, being killed. Those that were not killed in war fled to other tribes, and those captures were either relocated or sold into slavery. Today, it says today about 3,000 of them live in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. So, not to be a buzzkill on your Thanksgiving Day, but one of the reasons that I wanted to look at this is because a lot of the stuff that we cover in this all points back to the people that wrote different documents, or the people that are in front of cameras on your preferred media outlet, news channel, whatever. All of this stuff is written how it wants to be written. And in cases like this, you can clearly see that history is written by the victors whenever it comes to war. And, again, this is stuff that all we really had to do was click a link on an encyclopedia website, and
now, Thanksgiving in itself, that day that it comes from was a day of peace.
And the representation of it, the representation of what it is now is definitely a positive thing. Being thankful and grateful for the things that you have and the people that are in your life.
I mean, it's the same thing with like Christmas. Like Christmas was a pagan holiday that Christians basically did a hijack.
Yeah.
They actually did it to make Christianity more appealing for those people. Same thing with Easter and the Easter eggs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, the Easter stuff. But, I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's like we're here now. We can do a celebrate together. I don't know. I am a fan of people knowing history the best that they can, but I'm also a fan of maybe not while we're at the Thanksgiving dinner having the aunt that's like, well, actually, we shouldn't be celebrating.
Yeah,
I'm not into that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the same concept as we live here.
Not that I have an aunt that does that, because I don't. That was the first thing that popped into my mind was a crazy aunt.
It's the same concept of the fact that we live here in the U.S., but if you go through the history of the U.S. and how we became the most powerful nation in the world, it's, we look a lot like...
I don't know, dude. Have you seen Russia?
Yeah, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, though. Like, we seem like a Bond villain in a story if it wasn't what we lived in. But, given that and given the fact of, the Native American genocide, basically, and all the wars that we've been in, like, it would suck to live somewhere else, and that's what's weird about whenever you have conversations surrounding things like this.
I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of people killing each other. Is really the bottom line. But, like, also, they were killing each other.
Yeah.
Obviously, not everyone's killing each other. Like, that's the thing. It's just stuff gets way too complicated. None of us were there. History is not always that accurate.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man.
And just to clarify, it wouldn't suck to live somewhere else, but this is certainly
I can tell you right now,
the easiest nation to be
I
born
don't
into
want to
and,
live anywhere else.
and the best place for opportunity.
I haven't been everywhere.
I could definitely
been a
live
lot of
somewhere else.
places.
That's for sure. I could 100% live somewhere else. But
And
as
when I
far
say
as,
somewhere else, I mean even like actually the South specifically. Like just leaving this region of the United States would not be my favorite.
you're so NASCAR, dude.
Dude, now North Carolina, I could live there, dude. Lived in the mountains, bro. Get that fresh mountain air. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good. You ever tried it?
Mountain air?
Yeah.
No.
You ever tried Mountain Dew?
Yeah.
It's good.
Dude, mountain air, I don't know, it ain't for me, dude. I'm trying to go look at the beach.
Yeah. Dylan's into the beach, dude.
I wasn't always into the beach. I used to be a little mountain boy. Or at least I thought. And then, I don't know, I put away childish things, I guess, and started going to the beach.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Fine. If you're trying to live where tsunamis happen, that's fine.
That's one of my biggest things about living close to the beach. And I know that we
They
live.
don't happen at like every
Dude, tell
beach.
that to
Yeah.
Japan, bro.
Then don't.
That tsunami moved the island. The island literally went.
Oh, capsized it, dude.
Then
Dude,
you-
that's Guam.
You need to go to Tennessee. Then is where you need to go.
To Tennessee.
Yeah, you can get the mountains up there. You can do that. Go up that way, and then you're landlocked. You definitely don't even have to worry about.
Dude, just go to
You-
Roanoke.
Where?
Roanoke, dude.
What's that?
Where the you know what I'm talking about, bro?
Croatoan, everybody.
Yeah, the Croatoans, dog.
Dude, that's my thing,
You'd
dude.
be
That's
stuck
my
on
jam.
there, dude.
I'm always down to talk about Roanoke. Roanoke is my favorite conspiracy ever. Because there's nothing there. We just don't know. That's literally, it goes, the guys disappeared. Where did they go? I don't know. No one was alive back then. We don't know. I mean, no one
No
alive
one
now.
was alive back
one
then.
was alive.
No one alive now.
Somebody wrote Croatoan on a tree, Skinny Rick.
Dude,
Somebody was alive.
nobody.
Somebody.
Nobody was alive, dude. They were all still dead, bro.
All right. Well,
How do we even know that Roanoke existed? Because none of us were born then.
we do because Roanoke exists. Maybe not that one, but we have one now. Anyway,
Dude, what
I
if-
think the point.
What if
of
it disappeared now? Like, what if Roanoke we have today disappeared?
dude, it'd be.
What if that happened?
We'd call it the Mandela effect.
What if that happened, but then also the Mandela effect happened, and half the population was like, "What are you talking about?"
Christians would call it the rapture,
Like,
dog.
like if half the U.S. maps, Roanoke wasn't on them ever. That's another thing. The Chick-fil-A thing, where people say it has the C only, or if it has the K, if it, like has, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Like, I've seen signs. So isn't the argument that it was
The argument there's no K.
okay, but the one in Savannah has a K.
Yes, it does.
Exactly.
It's tripping me out because I don't ever remember the K.
I've always thought it was a K, but
How do you spell J.C. Penney?
JCPENNY.
Wrong. It's got an extra E in there.
Penney.
Nah.
Yes, it does, dude. We can't even do that, bro. I think, anyway, dude, with Thanksgiving, though, it is a time to be thankful
It is.
for what we've got.
Be
And
thankful for what you
I
have.
appreciate you
and
guys.
it's
I'm
hard-
thankful for you guys.
It's
for
hard
letting
to
me
say
be
that
on
until
another episode.
you see what you don't have.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Like,
Be thankful until you
before-
see what you don't have.
No, it's
That's
hard.
what I just heard you
It's
say.
hard. It's hard to be thankful for what you have until you don't have it, because you don't know. Like, we take so much for granted, and I know that people say that a lot, and it's like, oh, like, be thankful, but really, dude, like, be thankful that you have anything,
Yeah.
because there are people who have nothing.
Not a thing.
Like,
And it's crazy because
They're-
most of those places, they're happier than we are.
Yeah.
huh?
Most of the people who live that way, there's a documentary where
Yeah.
about happiness, and most of the people who have far less than us are far happier.
Well, it's just because they're satisfied. I don't know.
I
People
don't
talk
know, dude.
about that's one thing people talk about, like, Americans aren't grateful because we're so like we
Who
live
says
in
that?
a cushion. I don't know, just people. Whoever said, but the people who say it say it.
That's for anything.
One of
Exactly.
the things that I think about, and us three all working at a church sometimes, is, you know, whenever I went on my like 9/11 thing a few months ago, one of the things that I found that was so fascinating was the faith that some of these people have in the Middle East to live out in these areas and farm and get constantly terrorized by, you know, practically members of a different denomination of the same faith as you.
Right.
It always just really fascinated me, and it always makes me think about whenever people come through town like David Hogan and stuff like that, and it's like, you know, I always think about that, like the faith that these people have, that, you know, they're out there doing it, man, and they've been doing it for a long time, and
Right.
they want to be doing it. It's just always fascinated me.
Yeah. Whenever.
The people who have less are more happy and
Yeah.
satisfied in life.
Yeah,
That's what we were talking about.
they are sometimes, dude. I do think that a lot. It's
Dude,
my
the end of the
motivations
day-
now are just happiness, and like
At
I have very few motivations that are material.
at the end of the day, life rips. And if your life doesn't rip, you're just doing it wrong.
What's your advice to give somebody whose life doesn't rip? General advice.
Start thinking about the things you want in life and start working towards that, and realize where you're at and what you already have. Like, that's my thing, is like, sure, I could get stressed out over something, but also, like, I have Pokemon, dude. I have I like was on the set of a high budget production. Like, life just rips. Like, you just got to learn how to be satisfied. Like, I don't know how to describe it better than just decide that life rips. Because when you decide life rips, it rips.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. There's a. You are right, and this is kind of some. Depending on who you ask, it can get kind of weird. But I remember talking with y'all know Eric. Remember Eric? One time he was talking about some book he was reading. There's a part of your brain, something called the reticular activating system. It's the thing that we use that actually, it can be harmful in that it's like for confirmation bias, is like where it's what our brain uses. But basically, what you're looking for, you're going to find. Is
Boom.
ultimately is what
Life
is it gets at. So
rips.
if you just decide that you're going to see the good and decide that life rips,
Dude,
bro,
life rips.
then you'll see it. Like, your brain is literally wired to see what you want it to see. So if you don't like what you're seeing, change what you're looking at.
That's why grumpy people out here doing a Scrooge at Christmas time.
Like who, bro?
I don't know.
I know.
That
It's like,
seems-
who are all these
That
people?
seems so specific.
Grumpy people.
Who though?
Dustin.
Is Dustin a Christmas Scrooge?
No.
You asked. I just said a name. I just thought of the most. He's not as grumpy as much. He's like
No.
he's like seasonally grumpy.
Dude.
Not even like weather season. Just like
Shout out to old
if
grungy
he's
dungy.
grumpy,
Bro.
he's grumpy, and if he's not, then he's not.
Dylan's about to know what I'm talking about. You remember the movie Snow Day?
Yeah.
I could see him as the bad guy from Snow Day, the freaking the snowplow driver guy. Couldn't you see Dustin with the freaking
Yeah.
big snow shovel chasing some kids
Yeah.
down the street? Yeah, dude.
Dude, let's just be honest. If you're not full of Christmas cheer, what are you doing?
And we'll have a picture of Dustin up for that too.
I mean, Dustin's a great guy.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying he's a bad person
He
at
is.
all. I'm just saying,
If anybody's
If he's
gonna ruin
grumpy-
Christmas that we know,
if he's grumpy, he's gonna be doing a Scrooge, bro. That's just how it is.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I will say,
Where's the lie?
that meme that I made of him with the elf hat, dude, is pretty dank. That's the most Christmas cheer I've ever seen.
You made a
in my
meme
life.
of him?
Yeah, like last year, dude.
Oh.
Let me freaking. I'll put it up on. I mean, I guess I can. Can I even show that on here?
I mean,
I'll show it to you, and then you can decide if it's appropriate to put up on screen.
it's appropriate.
I don't know. You haven't seen it yet.
I don't have to see it. You made it.
Yeah, but I don't like. I just use the content that's put in front of me. I don't decide the content. I just use it.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
I'm not on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Dude, this was
You
so
should follow
long
him on
ago.
Twitter then.
I'll follow him on Twitter.
Follow him on Twitter.
Where
I think
is
it's
it?
just Dustin Price. I think it's just his name.
Where is it, dude?
Yeah, you'll find
Y'all
some
can
of
keep talking to me.
you'll find some of his tweets a little funny, I think.
You know what? I don't text him that much. I could just go to his contact.
Anyway, yeah, dude. So, life rips. You heard it here first.
Yep. Well, or
Dude,
Skinny Rick.
literally,
I keep saying his name.
since I made that, I texted him once. Blast, bro. Look at that and tell me it's not the most Christmas cheer you've ever seen in your
Let me
life.
see it.
The fact that he's not even wearing an undershirt to his shirt. I feel like I'm just at home.
Who is this person though?
I don't know.
Some YouTuber.
Ooh.
Jinx.
Yeah, you can put it, dude.
Oh, but
Go ahead and do it.
if I talk quiet enough.
All right, so that'll probably offend that lady if she sees it, but
Oh, whatever.
If I talk quiet enough.
this
Dylan
is
can't
this
tell
is
I'm
this is
speaking
our
up.
channel, dude. This is what we're doing.
All right. Well,
So thank y'all all for watching. This was the Thanksgiving episode. I know we talked about a lot of stuff that we normally talk about, and also a lot of stuff that we don't normally talk about, and
but-
also some stuff that probably didn't make sense.
But on the real, shout out to Dustin.
oh, yeah.
yeah,
Love you, bro.
yeah.
That's it. That's all I had to say.
No. You
Dustin
got
asked
it.
me for some studio time a while back that he never took
Dude,
advantage of.
I know.
Dude, let's get him in here, bro.
I've
Dude, do you
tried.
think he'd do the spoiler alert?
You gotta cut that out.
Do you think he'll do the cut?
Just bleep it out. Just bleep it out. You got a lot of bleep outs this
Oh,
time.
dude. Everyone's going to think we're doing swears
You
on
got
this
about
show.
6 of them. By the way, if we're bleeping out, it's not because we're doing swears. We would just have the swears. It's because we don't want to reveal anyone's true identity. And that's it.
So do you think he would do it?
I don't know.
Do you
We'll
thi-
ask him.
would you want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we need it.
I
Three
mean,
people would be fine.
I
mean,
live.
I
I live at
think-
the same house.
I mean, I think the dynamic between you two would work really well.
I live in the same house with him, and I haven't seen him in at least 2 days. But I know that he's been existing in there
Because
because
you've been seeing the dishes, haven't you?
no, there was
a
a
fat dump that didn't get flushed.
no.
There was a hookah waiting for you.
There was
No.
socks. His socks got left in your bed somehow.
There was a cookout bag
Oh.
and mess with it, and I
that
know,
would make sense, actually.
and it was there in the morning. It was
You wanna
not
know-
there when I went to sleep.
You wanna know
so
how-
I know that at some point
You wanna
he
know
was
how I know that
in
was
the
him?
house. He's recently changed his mind about cookout.
You want to know how I know it was him?
How?
Because Ryan would never eat cookout,
Ryan doesn't have a car.
which is why he would never eat cookout.
Yeah.
Because it's too far away to bike.
He doesn't even like ride his bike.
Well, then he should erase his tattoo. Or just do, you know what? Never mind. Do what Corbin did. Cover it up with a more elaborate tattoo.
A motorcycle.
So
A motorcycle.
they have motorcycles and a lot of other stuff
Also, shout out to Ryan.
No, dude. So, yeah, I'll ask him. I texted him a couple days ago. I'm not sure he's alive at the moment. He hasn't responded to my text messages.
That's okay.
And
I mean,
and
technically, we don't know that he exists.
that's right. Just
outside
the
of
the
when we're
simulation
around.
renders whenever I get home. So sometimes it renders him there. Sometimes
I mean, but
it doesn't.
honestly, what if both of us were real in the simulation? Like we were both, so we're both real. We both still exist the whole time, but maybe Quinn doesn't.
No.
You ever think about that? Maybe it's not just you. maybe also one of us could be in the simulation. Like an online video game. You know, if no one's playing in this section of the map, how do we know it's there?
Yeah.
It's not. in
Dustin
most
must have
video
logged off.
Exactly.
games. Well, Dustin's a complicated guy, so we know for sure how much coding it would take for them to make a Dustin.
So which means he's got to be real.
All right. Well, shout out
Yeah.
to Dungy. We love you. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we do, man.
Also,
So,
Ryan,
Thankful for you. Thankful for you, Ryan.
I would recommend not erasing the tattoo. Just ride your bike more.
So,
So that's it for today. If you want to get in touch with me, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at TBAT Quinn. Skinny Rick's going to give you his.
Find me on Twitter, TBAT Skinny Rick, SKINERICK.
Dylan, you got a
Still a pretty fire Twitter account.
social?
yeah, I do. I've got some, but you can just try to find me somehow. I follow Skinny Rick. I'm not going to throw my stuff out. I'm not super active, but I do.
Sure.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just my name, so you can
Yeah.
do with it what you will. You can find me through their stuff. I follow them and all that.
Are you certified yet?
No,
Oh, okay.
I am to God.
Okay. That's
Jesus.
fair.
All right, and Skinny Rick's going to give us a fortune cookie to sign off.
All right. I mean, I kind of already did with the whole Life Rips thing.
Okay.
Let me
you did.
reword it in a
Yeah.
way that's more of a fortune cookie. Okay. He whose life rips is satisfied fully. I
Okay.
could see that on
There you go.
I could see that on a fortune cookie.
And Life Rips. Shout out to Chris D'Elia.
No, okay, yes, shout out to him because it's his sweatshirt, but also he didn't invent it. Let's just be real with ourselves.
Sweatshirts or Life Rips?
Both.
Okay. Well,
You know
that's
what he
it.
did invent? Shoulders, for sure. The man invented shoulders. I don't think he's
Yeah, we-
discovered legs yet, but he definitely invented shoulders.
We're good. Well, we'll tweet a snippet of that at him. So that's it, guys. We'll see y'all next time.
Have a happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas, since it's now Christmas season. Okay, bye. We forgot to get the hats, dude.